So best friends got each other's back. We used to cruise around with a bass to the max. Everyone in school while I was in the lab, cooking up some beats that would turn into tracks. High school chillin', I was on a mission. I had bigger dreams of being a musician. Teachers always talked but I couldn't seem to listen. I lived in a fantasy land, they called it fiction. But I was gonna be big one day, playing shows on the road to a sold out stage. Nobody really cared or believed I would make it anywhere close, I would fail and fade. But that's cool, I love that, cause any little doubt gives me energy back. And now, I'm in a place where I'm glad I never gave up on the dreams I had. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. Yeah, let's go. So if you want something big, you gotta swing fast, swing hard and commit. You might miss 10 times, but when you win, just make sure that you get all of it, okay? People at the top took risks. Investing and testing is all that they did. It's not complicated, it just takes grit. So never give up, take a swing at it. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 105. I'm here with my guys, Blaze Radio and Nikki C's. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Yeah? That's good, man. Nikki, how about you?
Hey, it's a chill day right now.
Yeah, a trade just broke. Right before I hit go
LeBron
live.
to the Sixers. Yay!
Yay! How about Bronny? Yay!
Who's the I missed it.
Here, we're going to talk
Nobody
about it
big.
right now. It's not a big thing, but for the Phoenix Suns, it actually helps them out a bit.
Not Jimmy Butler. We'll talk about him.
Oh, it's not Butler at all. But, yeah, so the Charlotte Hornets are trading their 7-foot center, Nick Richards, and 1 second-round pick to the Phoenix Suns for Josh Okogie and 3 second-round picks. So, the way I see this is that Phoenix Suns fans are tired of Nurkic. Like, they keep on saying he's the weakest link. So they're trying to build the big five. They're trying to build the center position. So that's where I take it from here.
Well,
What's up, Ryan?
Well, they
Albert?
get 2 extra picks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're trading 1 for 3 second rounders. They're trying to build for the future. I mean, for the Suns, they're stuck with that big 3, so that planning for the future, at least, seems like a good idea.
Huh. Yeah, it does. It does. Nikki, how do you feel about this?
I mean, I get it. Nurkic wasn't the answer. I think try to bring in a fresh face. Hopefully, you get something out of him and see what you got with Nick Richards. If it works out, okay, maybe he can eventually take Nurkic's spot. It's kind of one of those like low risk experimental moves. See what you got. And for the Hornets, what are they? They're always rebuilding for the future, but never succeeding at it.
So right now, Nick Richards is averaging 9 points, 8 boards, 2 assists on this season right now. So it helps him with rebounding. Like pretty much he doesn't shoot any threes. So there's that. Blaze, you got anything to add here?
I don't really know the details on Nurkic, but if like he was the problem, why didn't they try to trade him?
I don't think they can't because of
that's-
the contract.
Yeah, like I didn't know. That's why I didn't want to speak on it. I'm just saying if trying to build around maybe in the offseason if someone that doesn't fit their mold or whatever. I get it.
Yeah. What is up, Daniel? Trade Ball and Miller now? All right. I don't think they're going that far. I don't think they're doing that to Charlotte Hornets, but it is what it is. The start of trade season kicks off with this minor trade. It's not a big, it's not anything. So
I'm always Mr. Unpopular Opinion when it comes to, I guess, sports in general, because I try to be positive about everything.
Which NYG?
Shout out to NYG, Unpopular Opinion, but I had a couple of things I wanted to get off my chest. I don't need solo screen or nothing, but it's just like, and I did write them down because I didn't want to forget about them. And I'm the one who always says, why complain about the uncontrollables, the referees and injuries? You can't. I mean,
that's what I respect you for that. Like, I truly respect you for that.
You can be upset about. Oh, Nikki doesn't like my take, I guess.
Well, go for it.
I'm still in space. I got to get out of space here. All right, there we go.
Oh, I like you in outer space.
You can't. I know people can be upset about referees and injuries, but you can't really control them. So I complain about them. So a couple of my unpopular opinions. Shout out to NYG if you watch this later on. This is my opinion. It doesn't affect. It doesn't recommend. It doesn't. It's not his opinion. It's not Hardcore Sports Network opinion. It's not in general. Like I said, it's an unpopular opinion in general. So call me naive if you want, but I think that refs are trying their best. I think the NBA is still entertaining. I think that tanking doesn't exist, and it's just a waste of breath to actually say it. I think teams are always trying to win. I think making the postseason can be considered a success.
Yeah.
I think health professionals are there for a reason, and they are in the best interest of their team and their players. We have no idea what goes on behind the scenes with the health professionals, how they handle players or anything. So I don't really like to speak on it too much. I think injuries are just part of the game. It sucks, but it is what it is. And that's just my take on it. I try to stay positive about my team. And the way it is when my team sucks, I just don't want them to be the bottom of the barrel.
Right.
This is kind of like a Steelers take as well. I've been arguing with a lot of my friends and stuff. I'm bringing it in because it does apply to the Sixers as well. My Pennsylvania Sixers. And I heard your rant on Philly fans. I mean, I'm not going to degrade a female Packer fan or anything, get my job taken from me as a Philly fan, but I think that yes, the name of the game is to win a championship. Don't get me wrong. But if you can stay successful, even with a subpar team, maybe squeak into the playoffs, maybe get a win, towards the end, that still can be a success. If you are a type of fan that wants your team to win the championship every year, you should. But to get mad and upset that they don't win every year, you're just setting yourself up for year after year of failure and disappointment. So the way the Sixers sit right now, I know a lot of people don't think they'll make the play-in. They don't think the injuries are going to make a lot of trades. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I don't know. I'm just going by my fandom and what I see on the court. Yes, the big what if is health. But if we can't sit here and talk about other teams aren't dealing with health issues too. Ja was out. Zion was out. Luka's out. The way the NBA is structured anymore, it's like they're playing triage all year to hope that their team is healthy at the end of the year. If you don't know what triage is, it's just managing injuries.
Yeah.
It's a medical term, but I mean, that's just something that, and as a fan, you're allowed to complain about anything. Don't get me wrong. As a fan, you're allowed to say what you want to say, bitch at what you want to bitch, hate it what you want to hate. But I just think there's a lot of people out there that they complain consistently about uncontrollables, like things that are out of their control. I'm always the guy who says next man up and stuff like that. And that's what professional sports to me should be. Am I disappointed in my Steelers? Yes. Am I disappointed in my Sixers right now? Yes. But it's like, should I be like super angry and mad at the world? Number one, the season's not even halfway over. I still have, and yes, we've seen a lot of things that are just reason to be upset and not happy with your team. But I'm just saying, I think coaches, GMs, owners, referees, health professionals, they're there for a reason. Do they make mistakes? Sure. Some teams have to deal with more mistakes, but it's just something that, and Mitch, I felt your frustration yesterday too, when you addressed it. It's just like, fans, you're allowed to be a fan, but you get to a point where you're like, make up your mind. Are you going to jump off the wagon just because they're not playing good? Or are you going to say the wagon's here when the wagon's not really here?
Right.
It's fandom. You're allowed to think whatever you want. And I love that, people have different opinions, but that's just me. I like to try to look at the brighter side, the silver lining, and try not to give in to all the negativity. Because there's one thing, last thing, there's one thing about negativity. You can have a group of 30 people. If you have one negative person in there, it's going to spread. More people are going to be negative.
It's a virus. It's a virus.
I try to be the positive thing, but am I disappointed in my teams from time to time? Sure. Am I mad and upset? To an extent, not as much as I was a kid. I'm not going to get I'm not going to have a heart attack over sports. It is just still a game and it's fun.
Yeah, blame.
There are times when that's what I'm trying to get at, RQ. There are times when, yes, I will say coaches and refs make mistakes that affect the outcomes of the game. But to sit here and the point I'm trying to make is people that constantly on and off and on and off, like the wrestling terms, you're the big show. You're a heel, you're a face. You're a heel, you're a face. You're back and forth and back and forth. So that's just something I wanted to start it off and talk about. It's great to see Rios here with his little kitty. Meow. Mine are passed out on the couch over here. That one's young. How old is that kitten? Has to be a couple months, maybe?
2 months.
Yeah. Wow.
So, how's it going, Rios? You weren't here last week, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. I started a new job, so back to my regular schedule now.
Awesome. Good stuff. So, actually,
you missed a whole show on Wemby. So, no, just kidding. No, we played Jeopardy, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, we're going to play Jeopardy later on in this episode, actually. But I want to get Rios' take on the Phoenix Suns and the Charlotte Hornets trade. Let me pull that back up here.
It's a very minor trade, but hopefully
it's a minor thing. It's a minor, but it's a trade. It's better than anything.
Talk about, yeah.
It's something to talk about, right?
I think it's minor, but I think it's setting something up bigger.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I think too. With the Charlotte Hornets trading, they're trading Nick Richards and a second-round pick to the Phoenix Suns for Josh Okogie and 3 second-round picks.
Not earth-shattering, but I think this is a precursor for something bigger for the Suns. I think they're thinking they're gonna have to blow it up because this team they're not gonna contend and might as well look to the future at this point. And you got a lot of guys' future in the balance right now. Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant. Does he want to finish his last couple of years on a losing team, or does he want to, try to get at least one more ring on his own?
I got a question for Rios because I like talking about when we talk about the Rockets and what they're dealing with. Of course, we've heard all the fake rumors and crap out there, people getting moved. Butler to you guys, KD to you guys. The one that really intrigues me is Booker. Like I think that would be I'm really interested in your opinion. I love Booker not just because he's a Wildcat from Kentucky, but I think that of all these other rumors going to the Rockets might be one that would fit. I'm interested on your position on Booker. Maybe ended up there end of the year, next year, whatever.
Yeah, I think he is probably the one person that would move the needle for the Rockets to make them from just a playoff team to actual contenders, because he's a walking bucket. Like, he's the guy you can go to and crunch time, you can carry the load. I think right now with the Rockets, they're still trying to discover who's going to be that go-to guy at the end. Last couple of months has been Jalen Green, but he's been super inconsistent the majority of his career. So it's one of those things where they got to weigh the options. Like, do we want to give Green some more time, or do you want to go with the, a true alpha and Devin Booker?
Right.
And Booker is, and that's I want to see Booker somewhere where he can be like, not that he's not a 2 or a 1 sometimes with the Suns, but I think like Rios just said, a walking bucket, someone you can pretty much count on, never been really an issue as a player or anything. And I think he could fit in there well there and move the needle. So I agree. Yeah,
the Rockets have a lot of value. We've been saying that for the last 2 years now. We've been saying they've been having all that value. It's like with the
James Harden, the gift that on giving.
I think the last Sixers game was showing those guys portrayed.
for trade. I
For
watched the
trade.
show, so I know he ad nauseum talked about. And I will kindly disagree. Halftime, you can go back and watch the beginning and listen to my rant. I don't think they're making any moves. I
I
mean,
said that too.
Maxey has. I mean, they have legitimate injuries. I know Halftime gets on about the toe of Drummond, and yes, I know it's a toe, but it's a sprained toe, and it's a big toe. So I mean, as petty as it sounds, and yes, having it for 2 weeks does sound abnormal. But let me go back to what I said. I think the health professionals for these teams are out for the best interest of the team. I mean, if someone can't play, they're not going to play.
They
I mean, do
gotta
you want
be.
Maxey out there with a partial injury, with an arm that's hurting? I don't.
I mean, it's
I don't want
kind
him to rest for a week either, but I'm just saying, if these players go before the game and they are not 100% healthy, do you want to risk them right now?
Mm-mm.
We've seen a lot of cautionary tales about that. Grant Hill, Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm also one that you don't play to the what ifs, and you can get injured in practice or walking out your door to your car, anything. But I think these health professionals are doing the best they can to put the players that are healthy on the court. I know he said that they were out there because everyone was trade bait. I respectively disagree. I think they're trying to win, and they competed, like Mitch was saying earlier, and other people in the chat. Even though the Sixers weren't supposed to be anywhere near OKC when they played them, or the Magic when they played them, they're still hanging. They're losing, which is bad. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. But like I said earlier, if you're going to have a shitty team, I just don't want to be on the very bottom.
Yeah.
No,
Real
we're not
quick
live, Mark
question.
Newman.
Are you expecting the Rockets to advance in the playoffs in the near future without making a move for a star?
So I'm kind of on the fence about that one. I think they need a legitimate superstar to be real contenders. But at the same time, this is a young team, and they haven't been battle tested. I think sticking with this core and seeing what they can do in the playoffs is going to tell you what you need to do moving forward. Because if they're able to overcome, playing better teams in the playoffs and able to, sneak out a couple wins here and there, you get something to build on. Now, if they get completely, blown out like the Thunder did last year, then you know what? Maybe you need to reevaluate and make a move for a star in the offseason.
Do you think you guys make a move before the deadline, Rios?
I don't think so. I think the way this team's, they're number 2 in the West right now.
Yeah, I don't think you need to either. If
Yeah,
it's Booker and you don't have to give up a lot, that would be the play. But I'm the same place with the Sixers. It's a huge what if. Don't get me wrong. But all things healthy, which we haven't seen all year, there's no need for any other players on this Sixers team. Like what who are you going to trade for? And if you're going to say Yabu or PG that they just got them and they're going to trade them, that's ludicrous to me. If it happens, it happens. Yeah. But if they get rid of the number 1 free agent, which I'm not a big PG fan, and the big surprise that we've seen in Yabusele, that would be a huge surprise to me. I don't think they make a move.
Scooby-Doo.
I think they're more playing to the let's be super precautionary and find a way to get into the postseason and hope that we're all healthy there. Those health professionals are not dummies. I don't know what they do behind the scenes. And when you jump, which toe do you use the most? You're a big one. So I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying, we don't know. It's not a bruise. It's a strain. And if you take a strained toe and keep jumping on it, it could turn into a sprained foot or a broken foot or a broken toe. So I just
gonna be laughing, but
it's still. I know it's just a toe. It's 2 weeks is way too long. But I don't see the X-rays. I don't see what's going on. I don't see him in practice. If you can't do a layup in practice, sit the guy for a game. I would love to see this whole team play like old school days. And if you got bumps and bruises, you get out there and fucking play. I would love it. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Super precautionary.
I broke my big toe twice, and it is not comfortable walking, let alone running.
It's not. I broke one of my toes before. It is. But
I broke the top of my foot before, which was horrible.
Your balance. If your big toe's broken, your balance is completely off. I was bumping into shit all day because my toe was broken.
Yeah, you're walking on 9 toes.
And what's PG was an ankle, wrist for Maxey.
I don't know, but we have a quick question from our crew. I think it's to Rios. I think what you have and what areas you need to improve on the margins.
I think for the Rockets, their defense is great, but they struggle with scoring, especially in crunch time, because we don't have like a true go-to guy Sometimes it's Sengun, sometimes it's Jalen Green, but both are young. They're both very consistent. I think that's the one area where they're lacking right now to keep them out of true championship contender status at the moment. But their defense is one of the best in the league.
Yeah, don't make a move now and evaluate in the off season. I like that for the Rockets. For the Sixers, it's a completely different story.
I think it's the same. I think it's exactly the same. Don't make a move now. See what you have at the end of the year.
Yeah, because
if you can move Embiid for something, you have a lot of stars. I've said this every week.
Yeah,
we just haven't had the team.
We have too many wins. We have too many wins to tank.
Well, there is. Do I have to go back to my little soliloquy again?
I just said that because I know you liked my.
I know. Well, I'm just saying, if a team would, it's not. And we talked about this before. Is it guaranteed you're going to get a star player? No. Is it guaranteed you're going to get a top pick? I mean, there's a freaking lottery for a reason.
Right.
Here's the thing, and I heard this the other day. Here's a way to try it, not to fix, but I think it's like women's soccer or some weird that has this weird thing where as soon as you get knocked out of the playoffs, say your team is out of the postseason, physically eliminated, you can't win anymore. Every win you get from that point on, you get points towards the draft.
Yes. Okay.
So just like a lottery, it gives reason not to lose. So if you're mathematically eliminated, but you can pull off 5 or 6 wins out of the last 10, you get these points towards the draft, kind of like the balls that you get for the lottery. Am I saying teams never want their team to lose to get a better pick? No, there's idiots out there that think that and do that, but the first pick is never guaranteed to be the best. We've seen that. I mean, Bennett, we can go through all kinds of players that we've seen picked 1 or 2 or 3 that don't end up being the best player.
Yeah, like I've talked to former pros. They don't try to lose. They don't try to tank. It's, the executives and the GMs. Those are the guys that are wanting them to not win. But the players themselves, they're out there to win.
And just like at the end of the season in football, same thing in basketball. They have these goals they have to get to, points per game or how many assists and stuff like that, these bonuses. I mean, we saw the Mike Evans example. They threw him that one pass and he made $3 million. There's some coaches that would say, no, don't play him because we don't want to give him that $3 million, but it happens.
Don't start that with halftime. Don't start that with halftime now.
Same thing with Barkley when he had that run and he slid. That's a team player. What did he need 40 extra yards in a playoff game for?
You still got to play with it a little bump and bruise.
Doctor halftime. Who are the medical? who are the medical? Here's my point. Who are the medical professionals for the Sixers? Who are the medical professionals for the Rockets? Rios, do you know?
Actual doctors.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know who they are.
That's like, so how answer that?
What do they do on a daily basis? I have no clue what they do on a daily basis. I give them the benefit of the doubt that they are nitpicking these players down to the bone, down to the big toe, to find out if they're ready to play. And we talk about coaches and GMs and teams not getting their players ready to play. Being healthy is part of getting ready to play. I mean, we don't know what these medical professionals do every day. So I just think they're in their best interest to keep the team healthy and for the long haul, not for today's game on a Wednesday.
You know what? Speaking of Arcus Thunder, I think we should just go right into the first topic. Who used to play for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Russell Westbrook. And Blaze, you called this a while back about him finding his role. I think he found his role.
I'm not a pat myself on the back or I told you so. I called it.
Yes, you are.
I mean,
yes, you are.
Russell Westbrook. Here's what I said. When you take a great player who was great before and wasn't doing good in their situation and put them in a different team, different situation, you may get that player back that was great before. And that's what we're seeing with Russell Westbrook. With the Clippers, he was lost in the shuffle. We saw brilliance every once in a while, but we didn't see OKC Russ, triple-double Russ. Now, he took a back seat. The dude said, listen, I'm older. He listened to the coaches and the people, and 6th man of the year could he get? Comeback player of the year could he get? Or he might end up starting all the time if they could find a good place in a rotation for him. He's getting the numbers again. He's helping that team. The players love him. It's night and day compared to the Clippers thing, in my opinion. I think you take a player that's not working in a system, put him in a different system. Sometimes you get that great player that he was before.
And one example we kind of saw was like Derrick Rose in Minnesota. I'm surprised they didn't re-sign him back in
Tigers!
2019 because he was actually good in Minnesota. I was shocked when the T-Wolves let him walk to the Pistons. I'm like, he was doing good for them. But the point being is sometimes a player who was once doing great goes into the right system, they can show flashes of brilliance again.
There's one difference between this Nuggets team and Clippers. Jokic. Jokic
yeah.
makes everyone better on the court. They, on the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were always injured. They were always on the shelf, even though Paul George was up for MVP, and I still don't understand that. But it's just Jokic. Rios, how do you feel about Russell Westbrook in Denver right now?
Yeah, like Blaze said, he had to find his role, and he did, and he's thriving in that role. He tried to do that with the Lakers, but they, instead of letting him try to find his role in the team, they just made him the scapegoat while they weren't good.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a LeBronation there. He's blamed Darvin Ham. He's blamed D'Angelo Russell. He's always blaming
Who
someone.
got traded? D'Lo got traded.
He's never blaming himself when his teams aren't doing well. And now, and I know we're going to talk about this later, he wants to take credit for Cleveland's success. Did you hear that interview?
Yeah, I did.
He said, I'm glad I got it started, and now they're doing great. And he kept saying talking about the Cavs, like he still plays for them. He's trying to take credit for the Cavaliers' success right now, but he kickstarted it decades ago or whenever when they won that chip. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Talk about ego.
We could actually, you know what? Let's just get right into that right now with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Could this be a possible landing spot for free agents? Because right now they're winning. They're the best team in the league right now.
Do you want to shake up the chemistry they have right now? They're playing.
No, I'm just talking about like maybe after the season or something. Could that be a possibility?
Trade a couple little players for the background or coming off the bench. I think they got a hell of a lineup. Garland is turning into a star, and Mobley along with Mitchell. I mean, I think, and I said this to Mitch before, I think they're the Vikings of the NBA. They're doing great all season, but I think they could be frauds in the playoffs because they haven't shown us in the play until I see them do it. Until I see them do it in the playoffs in the postseason against teams that are ramped up. And I'm not knocking what they're doing right now at all. The Cavs are phenomenal. And I don't like anything Cleveland because I'm from Pittsburgh, but the players Garland and Mobley, they got a nice little core and they're young, like we've talked about. Do I think players would want to go there right now? Of course, they're winning.
I think they'll be able to attract some of these fringe guys or role players, but like bigger names, no, because who wants to live in Cleveland?
True. The shit city. I've been there many times. It's a really shitty. It stinks. The river's dirty. It's
Coming
really
from a
nothing fun
Pittsburgh
to do.
Steelers fan.
Hey, Pittsburgh's a great city. Don't take my word for it. Come and visit.
So like maybe some of these younger guys, you might be able to go the ones that don't have families, but the ones with families, like you really want to for your whole family for like say you're in a bigger city moving to Cleveland, like man.
I love when other people hate Cleveland.
Nikki, how do you feel about Cleveland being a possible landing spot for like a future free agent or a trade or something? How do you feel about it?
It's not going to be a great spot, honestly. Like you guys were talking about it, Rios, Blaze. It's not the most pleasant city to move to, especially if you got family. Now, if you're just a young kid looking for an opportunity to make it in the league, you'll take any offer you get, whether it be the Cavs, Timberwolves, Jazz, wherever. You're just trying to make it, take whatever offer you get and go with it. But as like a marquee place for six men, unlikely. It doesn't stand out as like I want to go to Cleveland.
They might want to play with Donovan Mitchell.
But for others, maybe not. It depends on who the player is. That could vary from a player to player situation.
They might want to play with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, or Evan Mobley, who could pretty much win Most Improved Player.
Yeah.
Jared Allen, an underrated center, and they got Dean Wade as the small forward.
Is he Dwayne Wade's little brother? I don't know.
From that perspective, it's like if you're just going to a team, if you just want to go to a team where you could possibly win a chip or showcase yourself, then yeah, you'll want to go to Cleveland. But if you got other factors as well, such as family, contracts, and all that, Cleveland's probably not the go-to place, especially with all these guys breaking out. Probably not going to get that big a contract to take care of your family the way you want.
Here's another reason why. Here's another reason why. The
Cleveland.
Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference is not as strong as the West. So what if someone big just moved to the Cavs based off their competitiveness and wants to go to the East? You never know. That could be another
I
reason
think
as
there's
well.
an argument for teams that we didn't expect, like the Cavs and the Magic. When we talked at the beginning of the season, it was, Knicks, Celtics,
Sixers.
kind of Sixers, but until what
like a
happened.
better place for a player with a family down in Florida where it's usually warm, especially with Disney
taxes.
being nearby to Orlando. Great place for the family to go.
Yeah.
It seems like a bit more marquee spot for that type of player than Cleveland.
But if you got a veteran player that's not a superstar, that hasn't won a championship, and you can add him to the Cavs as someone off the bench, I could see maybe some veteran that's stuck somewhere in a shit team end up there to help boost that team, because we talk about it all the time. And look what the Philadelphia Sixers are dealing with. You got to have a bench.
Philadelphia. Oh, is that Philadelphia?
You got to have a bench. You got to be deep. Look how the Celtics were in the Nuggets. Our last two champions were not just 2 players or 3. They were 5 plus some good ones off the bench that helped them win.
You mean a player like Hartenstein? Hartenstein.
I think he's staying where he's at, though.
He's staying there. He got paid. He got paid. He's not going anywhere.
But I know it's not on the docket, but we were talking about trades and everything, and obviously the big rumor and the big one was Butler. Now he's scheduled to come back Friday for the team. However, they've changed they're changing how they worded the suspension. It's actions detrimental to the team or something like that. So here there's a lot of questions. They were talking about it all day long on NBA TV. Like he's scheduled right now to go back. Like how the players are going to accept him because he does make a difference. He's still that guy. But would you want, I wouldn't be upset if some of the players would be like, man, this dude just said he quit on us. He didn't want to come back. And now he's going to come back. And he's just going to come back to try to build trade value, or, look how some of the players, Jaquez is over 15 points a game now. He's starting playing better. Hero, Bam, those guys are doing well without Butler. So it doesn't look like a couple weeks ago we were talking, it looks like he's definitely gone. It looks like he's gone. He wants out. He's doing everything he wants to do to get out. I don't know now. Now it kind of looks like he's going to go back. I don't know. Do you guys think he's going to get moved or stay in Miami?
It comes down to Pat Riley, obviously. Is he going to put up with this? No. Jimmy Butler got to
pay a boatload too, because they're going to ask a boatload for him. So you got to find a team that's going to want to give up a boatload.
The team that wants him, the team that made a trade today, Phoenix.
Well, I've heard the Kings, the Rockets, the Warriors. I don't see him going to the Rockets. We've already talked about that, but
I think Phoenix will be a good spot.
Levine might get moved. There. Levine might get moved. He's in a lot of talks too. We'll see.
I don't see him going back to Chicago, unless you're just saying Levine getting moved in general.
No, I'm saying in general. The Butler thing is totally. I just want to know what you guys think about Butler going back to a team he just quit on.
No, they're going to move him.
No,
we've seen Pat Riley do this before with LeBron. He basically chose his coach over LeBron because LeBron was rid of Spoelstra, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to fire him." So I don't
remember he let D Wade walk to Chicago when he was past his. He felt like, "Oh, D Wade, you're a little bit over the hill. I'm going to let you walk." So he's done that. He let Shaq walk as soon as Shaq showed that first sign of being past his prime. Traded him to Phoenix. So Pat Riley's a "what have you done for me lately" type of guy. And I feel like he's looking at Jimmy Butler with that attitude of, over the past year, you haven't really helped me much. I can find someone else that will help me now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think they're going to have to take less than they thought they were going to get for him if they're going to move him in the next couple of weeks. And like Arku said, so he's being picky about where he's going to go too, which to an extent, when you're a star at that level, you do have some say in it, but it's going to come down, just like you guys said, to Pat Riley.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Pat Riley. You know what's not going to come down to Pat Riley, though? I don't think the
Williamson's return.
No, Anthony Edwards.
Oh, you skipped Zion. You're going backwards now.
Well, this whole podcast has been going up and down and all around.
It's all right. There's a lot to cover, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards getting fined $50,000 for flipping off a referee. I can't believe he actually did that. Blade's thoughts before I done.
Grow up, Ant.
I mean,
You know, I get it.
seriously.
Sometimes words are said and get you upset, and we talked about this before. You know, as a professional, you got to be able to control yourself. When your players are kind of like holding your hands down and pushing you away, being like, "Don't do that shit." It's like we talked about Ant before. He's got all the talent in the world to be the next face of the NBA. But he
Right.
keeps opening his fucking mouth and can't get his head right. That's all. I got nothing more to say about it. It's disappointing.
Yeah, we already ranted about the Sixers fans. We don't have to talk about them again.
Yeah, we know everybody's
Dude.
saying it.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah, at the end of the day, I get you're emotional, but it's still a job. You got to be a professional at your job, and you can't, go around flipping the bird just because you're upset. Like it's just doesn't work that way in the real world. It doesn't work that way in sports.
yeah. And 50,000 is like nothing to him anymore.
It's still a shame that he acts that way.
It's not the first time too.
That's what sucks.
Yeah. And then now we got to go into the.
Wait, Nikki, what do you think about Anthony Edwards?
Oh, I thought you would. Yeah, go for it.
So stupid and dumb. I mean, you're really gonna do that? Flip off a referee, knowing that this could, number one, it's gonna get you in trouble. Number two, this could haunt you down the line, especially if you got the same referee crew or someone who's close to that referee crew refereeing your games. They might make some questionable calls as well. So that could come back to haunt Edwards and the T-Wolves later on down the line in the game to some degree. So
what's he going to get out of it? How did I start my rant earlier? Referees. Why, they're going to make mistakes. Yes, they do. They may make you angry. But what are you going to get out of this? What are you going to get? Is the ref going to come over and go, "Oh, okay, we'll change the call because you gave me 2 middle fingers"? It's like, control your emotion. What is that going to get you? I just chalk it up to he's a kid, made a mistake, hope he doesn't do it anymore. But like Rio said, this isn't the first time he's done something stupid.
This goes back to what we talked about last year. Remember him making those remarks with Magic Johnson and stuff? Yep. I mean, like, how many times are we going to have to talk about Anthony Edwards doing stupid stuff?
Yeah, do your talking with your play because he's that damn good.
Yeah.
Don't give the referees reason to piss you off. Just play the way you can play. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go.
Character, but it's one thing to be a character to try to make the game a little more entertaining, but he's not even doing that. He's just being stupid, making dumb comments, hurting his credibility, and doing dumb actions like flipping off referees, costing his bank account some dollars, and potentially causing himself more trouble down the line.
It's just like bumping into refs and stuff like that too. It's like, what's that going to get? I get being angry and upset as a player. I've cussed out refs when I used to play because I got upset. I'm not saying I'm perfect or these players are perfect, but like we all said, at their level, you're a professional and you can be upset. You can be mad, throw a towel, go back in the locker room and kick a locker, stuff like that. I'm thinking it was a little bit more than that, Arku.
Yeah. I'm thinking that more too.
And that's what I mean. Things are going to be said. Where's the respect for the refs? Do you think players have respect for the refs anymore? I don't.
No.
I mean, they don't have to worship them. Yeah, they don't have to worship them or anything. But I mean, I was raised to give them respect. They're there to make sure the rules are followed. So it's like, it's like kids that cuss out their teachers and shit like that. I would never do that. I was just raised to respect people that are, I wouldn't say, it's somewhat of an authority. Referees are there to help control the game. But they make mistakes. I get it. You get angry, you get upset. You just can't do. I just hope we don't. I said the same thing last year when we talked about Ant. Just don't do it anymore. Control yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now we got to go into a player who just came back. Then he got suspended, but now he's playing again. Zion Williamson. He is back. He played well. Just with the suspension thing, I'm just a little bit hesitant on. I mean, not hesitant. I'm like, how many times has a player missed a play and got suspended? I don't understand why it's a big deal. I just don't get it because a lot of players miss flights.
There have also been reports, too, about Zion repeatedly being late for practices. So I feel this was an accumulation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's
being late and then missing a team flight on top of it. This was the straw for the Pelicans. Okay, we got to do something about it. and that's why they also suspended him.
Yeah, but now he came back and did like another 360.
Well, that's because he can do that. He's that, and I don't want to speak for him. I don't know what he's like personally, but when you're that talented and you can do that stuff, I guess you think you're above the law type of thing. And I heard the same thing Nikki did, that this is a reoccurring thing where he's trying to, I don't know, bully them to think. I don't know why people do that. And it's the same thing we just talked about. Respect adults, like Arku says, respect your teachers, respect the refs. There's no respect in that. So I don't have no problem with the Pelicans saying, all right, we got to send a message. At least, let's stop doing this dumb shit because you're that important to this team. It's a compliment, to be honest. And we don't know everything that goes on behind the scenes, so we can only speculate.
Right. And it's like, the thing is with that, you got to respect people in a higher position than you. You don't have to like everybody in a higher position, but you got to at least respect them. Because if you rub them the wrong way, that can come back to bite you and get you in trouble down the line. Not just
Comes
with
down
that
to money.
person, but with others as well.
You're
Like,
speaking my
especially for an
language.
athlete. If you're having conflict with coaches or owners, that can affect your trade value down the line. Because teams will look at that once it goes public as a red flag for potentially acquiring your services as a player. They're like, oh, this player had issues with coaches here, or are we sure we want to try to acquire their services? So you got to at least respect them. I know you're not going to like everybody, but that's the thing in life. You're not going to like every teacher. You're not going to like every boss. You're not going to like every person you encounter higher up, but you got to at least respect them for your own sake.
Aww.
I was just about to do that.
Rios, what do you think about the Zion stuff?
It goes back to what we mentioned earlier, is being a professional. He has not been. He's been kind of gotten his way since he was a kid, probably, and it's just what he's used to, and no one's really had given him any type of direction. He's just kind of done his own thing, and he's gotten to a certain point where he's getting a little out of control, and they don't know what to do because he's had no discipline. I mean, he hasn't been disciplined with his own weight.
Yep.
He gets to be disciplined for being on time. Like,
he's got to be disciplined for breaking the shoe.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's like Zion. I don't think anything's going to change until he goes to a different team, because I think that's just the culture over there. And now they're finding out that their culture is letting him do, and it is money. I think it does come down to money. When you make way more than a referee, you think you can tell them how to do their job. When you make way more money than your coach, you think you can tell your coach how they should do their job. You should still respect the hierarchy, no matter how much you're paid, but I get it. I'm making 20 million. My coach is making 3 or something, whatever. Or, the referee's making 600,000. I'm making 60 million. I'm not going to care as much about the referee's opinion because I make that much money. It's a twisted way of thinking, but it's just the way a lot of them think. I think that's just a speculation from me.
Yep. I'm right there with you. Now, Rios, last week we played Jeopardy, and now you're in luck. Here's the Jeopardy board.
So we're going to all the same answers from last
No,
week.
it's not. It's a different game. It's a different thing.
Well, it's either the Celtics or Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, and spelled wrong. So we're going to start off with Rios, then Nikki, then Blaze, and me.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Rios, go for it.
You don't have to answer in the form of a question. We're not going to get that technical.
Right.
Give me players for 500.
Ooh, go for the B. I love it.
Number 2 on the Wizards.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I know.
Jordan Poole.
Is it the jerker, the curtain jerk? Oh, what?
What?
How old is this one?
I don't know.
I'm a big John Wall fan too. I think it's a ripoff. He didn't get to do what he did. Maybe there isn't a 2 on the team now. That's a shitty one. I'm just glad starters on here because you got to name all 5 starters from a team. I ain't doing that shit. No, I can't get that.
Nikki, go for it.
I'll go Cities 100.
Atlanta.
Hawks.
Is that what this is? Oh man. Who are the Hawks? See, you got to answer it in the form of a question, but I get it. Well, that's a tough one.
Go, Nikki.
Nikki's about to
get. Cities 200.
He's going to get 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1,400 points right now.
Pacers.
Oh, my living God. 300?
Yep. Heat.
This one was made for a 5-year-old. Well,
The John Wall thing, though.
Yeah, isn't he retired? What kind of question is that?
Kings.
Well, we lost.
at least there's 5 categories, so there's a chance, but none of them are going to be that easy.
Oakland.
Warriors.
Yep, that's a good one. All right, go for it. I might just change the
MVPs.
board.
100.
I might change the board.
Ugh.
LeBron James.
It's a good guess.
Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
Curry.
All right. Place, you're up.
Cities for 0. Just kidding. I'm gonna go.
Let's see what the chat-
Sponsors for 100.
Sponsors for 100?
I don't
Okay.
know what it could be, but
Well,
let's give it a
Blaze
shot.
wasn't retail, so this might be right up his alley.
Company will take over the apparel sponsorship from Adidas.
In 2017. So you're telling me Nikki got all those, and then Blake gets this?
Nike taking over the sponsorship. Yay! Figure that won't be easy. Let's go. Sponsors 500. Screw it. Go right to the tippy top.
No.
Oh, what do you think, please?
I'm thinking.
You thinking, Lincoln? Who's Lincoln?
I don't know. I give up. I would have never guessed what the fuck that is.
I would have never guessed that. either.
Players 100. Who's number 23 on the Cavaliers?
Hey,
I'm gonna say, look,
John Wall was 5 years ago, so you might want to say LeBron.
I'm going LeBron there. Players 200. Stephen Curry.
Well, at least that one's still up to date.
Right. 13 on the Rockets. James Harden. And then 400. Chris Paul.
Yep.
All right. I'm kind of curious. What is this miscellaneous? Oh God.
Good.
Are you kidding me? Shoot. The Atlantic? That's all I know. Like off head?
Pause.
Bruh. Off the top of my head.
There you go. I knew a girl. She gave some off head before. Too much teeth.
All right.
No Google. We don't Google during this.
And that's coming from the Google Master. All right. Southwest Pacific, Northwest Atlantic. I got one. All right. Rios, you're up.
Sponsors for 200.
Oh, jeez.
Where's halftime? Yep.
Pepsi.
There you go.
All right, yeah.
Sponsors for 300.
Oh,
Gatorade.
yep. Now this is becoming a game.
I should have went up the list instead of going to 500.
You're
Give
going
me,
for
MVPs for 200.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I'm gonna go LeBron.
It's Derrick
Ooh,
Rose.
that was the Rose year. Oh,
All right, Nikki, you're up.
I'll take miscellaneous 200. NBA commissioner.
Oh, come
you-
on.
gee, Nikki gets all the
Why?
easy ones. I really
Why?
like Adam Sandler too. I really like him.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I saw him talking today about. I mean, when he addressed the how do we fix the NBA, this stuff, and
Yeah.
he's talking about a lot of stuff today too. He's just well spoken.
He's-
And
I
Alfred,
think
he's a
he's
good
better. He's better than
David
Uh,
Stern.
Yep.
no, well that too. But who's the guy? I'm forgetting the guy from the NFL.
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell.
That-
Oh,
thank you.
jeez.
Miscellaneous 300.
Oh, come on. Oh, I already
The
know the
G
one.
League
Yep. Okay.
and the Ignite.
It's WNBA.
Don't-
Oh.
And the D. I was, you know what I
Drop
was
the
thinking?
D. You mean G League?
Yeah. Yeah. I Blaze you up.
Sponsors
something.
400.
Oh.
Spalding. Is it?
Stuck with
Yeah.
sponsors.
Now it would be like Wilson or whatever.
MVP 300. I'm not going to get this because I have no memory. LeBron James. No.
That was his rookie year. I think I know what it is. I think
is
I
it
know.
Dirk? Dirk?
I think it's
Garnett.
the big ticket. I was gonna say Steve Nash.
Everything is possible. Except for
don't
me
know
getting one right.
Well, you think
I mean, winning. That's not possible.
All
No,
right.
actually, it is. You have to get all four.
This game is actually getting close now. Now we know what kind of era it's in.
All the eras.
You know what I meant. Oh my god!
Wow, there you go.
Good job, Mitch.
And I just gave this a compliment.
55. Holy crap. I don't even think I can name a player that played in 55 unless Bob.
Wait,
I'm not going to say a name.
when did Will Chamberlain play?
I have
Well,
no
if he played in the 70s. I don't know if he played in the 50s. Did he play for 30 years?
With that height? I don't know. With that many people he slept with? I don't know. I'm thinking of two right now. I either got Bob Cousy or George Mikan.
No, I said Bob, so you're taking my koozie. I hope it's Mikan.
I don't know which
You
one to
did say
go.
Bob Cousy first. It might not
That's
be him. He might have played in the 60s and not the 50s. Joe Schmo.
I'm gonna go with Cousy. Bob Pettit.
Pettit. I said Bob. Maybe I was talking about Pettit. There's a lot of Bobs and Jims back then.
All right. That's the only one I would have gotten right.
The
All right,
Pepsi
Rio.
one he's talking about.
Yeah.
Let me get miscellaneous for 400.
Oh, whoops.
Or
Hold on. Let me back up. There we go.
I don't know what the hell that is anyway.
30.
30 what? What is something? What is Steph Curry's number? Didn't we already cover that? That's probably what it is.
Did something happen in like 30 seconds?
No. Or
The number of
31.
NBA teams.
Probably right.
Yeah, you get it.
That's very good. That's very good.
All
God.
right. Which one now?
If he gets both of these, he wins.
If I were you, I think we would go to MVP
Ah,
first.
Because it's
We
going to be
gotta-
1923 MVP. It might be last year's MVP.
You pick Rios. Rio, MVP or miscellaneous?
Let me do MVPs for 500.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on!
That might not be too bad. It could be a couple people.
That's why. Why do I get the 50s?
This isn't any easier.
No.
I mean, you do have more options than what I had.
Just throwing fucking anything out there. Dr. J.
Say Bird. Kareem. Ah.
All
Sorry, Bird
right,
and Dr. Bird
Nikki,
started than anyone.
you get miscellaneous with 500, and
All right.
Nikki won.
And who knows what the fuck is a Polidov? Puddle-off.
No, number 1 seed in the conference.
If
Get a
that's
trophy?
it, I'm gonna.
They don't get a trophy. MVP. Wow, that's the MVP award's name?
Well, that's
I did
the
not-
old one. They changed it.
Yeah. I know the All-Star MVP is Kobe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the real MVP award is.
I think it's the. I want to change it to the Michael Jordan Award.
It's
'Cause
the
I
Mo
think-
Papadopoulos.
'cause I
Good
think
job, Nikki.
it's-
Came
it's-
through this week.
they
Good
got-
job, Nikki. Nikki won. I came
Fucking
in second.
cities.
Ah, I got harder ones. We can play one more if I can find a quick one. Because that
No,
was
I just-
actually.
We gotta do picks.
Oh, yep, I forgot.
There's some big games. We got the rematch tomorrow night. I know we're going to talk
Yeah,
about
I'm-
tonight, but tomorrow night.
Yeah,
is Cavs
I'm
and
streaming that
Thunder.
game tomorrow.
Which I'm gonna go out on a limb right now, and I could be totally wrong. I don't think the Cavs or the Thunder make it to the finals.
No,
Sorry,
I'll see.
RQ.
I don't have either of them.
I'm not. I don't think either one. I know you have Knicks and Nuggets or Celtics and
No.
Nuggets. You're picking
There
the
you go.
last two champs. Ooh, go out on a limb, Mitch.
All right.
Living
Knicks
on
at
the
Six-
edge.
Knicks at the Sixers. I'm going Knicks.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my Sixers. They've been hanging with these teams. They've been hanging with teams they shouldn't hang with, and I know players aren't playing. We still haven't heard about Maxey or PG. Embiid is definitely out, but they've been hanging with teams they shouldn't hang with. Sooner or later, they got to get a win. I'm gonna stick with my team, the Pennsylvania Sixers.
Oh, now you said that before. Before you said Philadelphia. Get out of here.
Prove
Celtics,
me wrong, Arku. I'd love to see you guys prove me wrong and make it to the finals.
Celtics versus the Raptors. Celtics.
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 I'm gonna stick with the home team. I'm gonna be a lone wolf. Oh,
Are you going to go with home every time?
maybe I gotta look.
The Hawks at
No.
the Bulls.
There's Bulls. Although Trey Young's playing out of this world right now.
I'm going Hawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Atlanta.
Hawks.
Nikki.
This is a good game. This game is good. Magic at the Bucks.
Bucks.
I'm going
Oh.
Bucks.
I'm gonna go Orlando.
They have been playing well with Paolo
Big
back.
Carroll's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic.
I didn't realize
The
how
Ma-
many points Paolo was scoring when he left and came back. Dude's averaging around 30. That's crazy. Good for
Yeah.
him.
He's tied with SGA with 31.
I can't pick
Mavericks
the Pelicans.
at the Pelicans.
No Luca, no Zion.
Yeah. I don't know. Zion might play.
Zion might be playing. God, I'm sticking with my home teams.
Yeah, I'm
Pelicans.
going New Orleans on that one. Dallas is they're playing pretty bad right now.
I'm going with I'm gonna go with Dallas.
Yeah, let's see. I'm going Mavs in this one for sure.
Grizzlies at the
Pelicans.
Spurs.
Look, I asked you guys an interesting question. I know it's all subject.
Sure.
Do you think
No,
Trey
please.
Murphy III could possibly be the future for the Pelicans, or is that just overreaction to his hot streak?
Overreaction.
Yeah, I think he can be more than people thought he was, but I don't know if he can be like a superstar.
So I'm going Memphis, and against the Rio Spurs, I'm going with Memphis.
Butterfly, what's up? Butterfly loves the Spurs. I got the
Yeah.
Spurs.
I'm going Grizzlies.
Grizzlies.
All right. What is up, Butterfly? How's it going? The Rockets at Denver. Good game.
Mm.
Good one.
I'm sticking with my home teams. I think it's going to be close, but I'll go Denver.
I'm going Denver.
Same Denver.
Lone Wolf.
Yep. You got to stick with your team. I love it.
The Warriors at the T-Wolves. At the
You mean
Timberwolves.
Warriors at the Jazz? Oh wait, never mind. I'm
Charlotte
No,
Jazz.
no, I
Charlotte
skipped
versus
one.
Utah.
Yeah, Charlotte. Jazz.
Charlotte Jazz. I'm going Charlotte.
I'll take Utah.
Yeah, I'm
Home
going
team.
Utah.
Charlotte.
Both teams.
All right. Here we go. Warriors at the Timberwolves. I'm going with Warriors here.
Zion is
No.
out.
Oh, he is? So I'm still going with the Pelicans. I
Yeah,
mean,
me
I'm still going with Dallas.
I'm going with the T Wolves.
See, Anthony Edwards can do what he can do on the court and not double middle finger nobody.
Yeah, I'm gonna go T-Wolves.
Hopefully, he learned his lesson.
Nikki, who you got?
T-Wolves, Warriors. I said T-Wolves, Lakers, Heat. I'll go with the Heat. No, I'll go with the Lakers. Scratch that.
I'm taking the Lakers too. I'm sticking my home teams tonight.
I'm going with Miami.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Heat too.
The Nets at the Clippers. Clippers.
Oh, shit.
Clippers.
Yeah.
Do I have to pick? I'm gonna pass on this game. I'll have to stick with my home teams and take the damn Clippers, even though I can't stand either of those teams.
Who do you hate more, the Clippers or the Pelicans?
I don't hate the Pelicans. I just hate the name of the team. I think it's ridiculous.
Arku, there was, according to the Blaze, there's no tanking.
I did not say that. I said it's not worth wasting your breath talking about it. Thank you for proving my point, Arku.
Great episode of the Pick and Roll. We'll catch you guys next week. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we are out. See you guys. Nikki and I will be live for the Sixers and Knicks in 1 hour. See you guys.
Going down at 7.